What's up people, it's Football with Dan and welcome to another video. So, interestingly enough, another win for Arsenal Football Club. Yes, we beat Brighton 1-0 and now I think we're in 13th place. So things are going a little bit better. I won't get carried away and say that Arsenal are back or something like that because we still need the players in the January or summer transfer window. Arteta still needs backing and all sorts of stuff, but a win is a win. So yeah, yesterday I thought it was a little bit interesting because the Arsenal match and Barcelona match were 15 minutes away, so I had to kind of like switch between those two. And yeah, I think that I got unfortunate. The two teams that I like beside my club FCSB in Romania, the two teams just played at the same time, pretty much. So I think I got a little bit unfortunate, but yeah, I still watched most of the game and I know what happened and I can give my full analysis on this match. What do I think Arteta did right this match? Well, he pretty much stuck with the same team. The only player which he swapped was Lacazette, and he put Aubameyang, our best player, in there. But yeah, I don't know what's happened to Aubameyang because you saw Lacazette just coming in and score. I don't know what's happening to Aubameyang. I think it's something else. But right now, some of them are starting to turn up, and you wonder why Aubameyang isn't playing that good. I don't know. I honestly don't know what is going on, but still, he has my full support because you saw what Aubameyang can do. And even he scored so much goals even last season when Arsenal weren't that good either. So yeah, I still think Aubameyang is one of the best players in Premier League, if not in world football, honestly. And people are criticizing him too much. They forget what he's done previously. So I think we just have to be a little patient. Arteta needs to solve this puzzle, this mystery for Aubameyang. I don't know. But we'll get into the player ratings now. Berdeleno. I didn't think he had much to do. Oh, I like that part when he juggled the ball a couple of times. That was a little bit frustrating because I thought we would concede at first, but it turned out to be a good decision. And fair play to Berdeleno. These kick-up sessions really did him the good there. So Berdeleno, 7 out of 10. Now moving on to the defense, I think Bellerin was... I'll give him a 7. Look, I'll give him a 7 this match because he had some good runs going for it. You can see his lack of pace. You can see he's not the player that he used to be. He had some opportunities when he was going down the right flank, especially later on down the game. And if it was better like 5 years ago, I remember the game against Bayern Munich when Arsenal beat them 2-0. Arsenal's second goal scored by Ozil was just a run. I think it was David Alaba or someone like that. Barry, in like 30 meters, just sprinted right past him with amazing amount of pace. And yeah, you can see that he's lacking this pace after this ACL injuries and stuff like that. And I miss that old Barry. I honestly miss him. But he played quite a good game today, so I'll give him a 7. Rob Holding, I think he wasn't that shaky. I think he was more shaky in the game against Chelsea. I'll give him a 7. And his partner, Pablo Maria, all of they said, people are like, yeah, this 10 million guy or something like that from Flamengo, what is he doing? Look at what he's doing in this match. Every time I saw Pablo Mari, he looked commanding, he looked very good. I always say that our left-sided center-backs are not an issue. Gabriel and Pablo Mari are definitely good enough for Arsenal. Our right center back maybe needs a little bit of rework, but who knows, because you also have to take into consideration William Saliba will maybe start to play a little more games, which I hope. Holding he's looking a little bit better right now. He has some experience as well. Rob Holding, like a 25, he has some experience because he's been here for like 4 years or something like that. Callum Chambers as well, I really rate him. I don't think he's on a level as of like Upamecano or someone like that is, but he can still hold his own. I still like him. But if there's something to improve, I think he's our right-sided center back, definitely on not our left side, because we are very good in there, and I think I'll give Pablo Mari an 8. That's how good he was. I said even the game against Chelsea he was very good, beside that penalty, that challenge on Mason Mount. So yeah, Kieran Tierney, I think a 7 as well. Solid performance overall. He wasn't that active in the attack because he was against Chelsea, but yeah, I also think Brighton looked better defensively than Chelsea. Like, honestly, I think we created so much chances and we were so dangerous against Chelsea. We were much dangerous against Chelsea than Brighton. So yeah, Kieran Tierney is 7. Moving on to the midfield, and this is why Arsenal are in this place. You can go about attack, defense. Look, maybe there's some issues there, okay? But the midfield, oh my god, it's our biggest issue. Don't get confused. It's been our issue since like Aaron Ramsey left. People are talking like, oh well, Wenger got the top 4, he should have stayed. Let's not forget that Wenger got us Europa League the last 2 or 3 years, and he had the midfield somehow like even Xhaka played better. It was in his first years at Arsenal, he played better. But he had Ramsey, he had Oxlade-Chamberlain in midfield. Players like Santi Cazorla, Wilshere, he was not that injured at that time, so you can see the quality of players. Even Coquelin played pretty well because he had Santi Cazorla next to him, and we all know that Coquelin isn't the best offensively and building up from the back, but at least he had a magician like Cazorla next to him. That's why Arsenal were so good. But the midfield is so shit, man. So shit. Xhaka and Elneny just don't cut it anywhere near the level of Arsenal. Like, just picture this team with Thomas Partey and Lucas Torreira, let's say. That's a whole nother midfield, okay? Whole new midfield, a new team pretty much. If you put Torreira, which I hope Arsenal will recall him from his loan at Atletico, Torreira and Partey in there are 3 levels above this, okay? And I think I think also number 10 is an issue at the moment, and I still think we need reinforcement, but I still think we need reinforcement in this midfield area, in this pivot. So yeah, oh man, Elneny, I don't know, get something like 5, and Xhaka maybe a 6. Something like that, but still, man, the midfield is so poor. Building up from the back, breaking up attacks, it's not what we need. I don't know why. I think Arteta thinks that Ceballos isn't that good defensively, but if you look at his numbers are even better defensively than someone like Xhaka's. And Ceballos also passes the ball, progresses the ball more, passes forward more, so I don't see why Ceballos shouldn't be instead of Xhaka, honestly. But yeah, You can even play Smith Rowe in a pivot, he's played there, so yeah. Eldeni 5, Shaka 6. Moving on to the 3, behind the striker. So, right-sided, Bukayo Saka. Yes, you can see why he's better than Mason Greenwood. I said it. Greenwood is a good player, a good finisher, but nothing more than that. Beside his finishing, which is good, yeah, both feet, stuff like that, is good. Greenwood is useless, okay? He doesn't do nothing beside shooting a ball. Yeah, he's good at shooting that ball, okay? But beside that, he's a... Bukayo Saka, like, let's remember, United play the same day. Greenwood plays the right winger. Saka, right now, played as a right winger, yeah? Who played much better? Bukayo Saka. You can see the pace, the drive, the dribbling. I think I saw a statistic, it was like 5 starts for Bukayo Saka at right winger, 5 contributions. That may be his new best position. I think with Saka and Maitland-Niles, we should just we shouldn't put them in all sorts of positions, just stick to them in 1, maybe 2 positions. I think Saka, he can cover up as a left back. I still think he's very good as a left back, honestly. But yeah, if he plays that well also on the right wings, but I'm not gonna mind, you can put him in there. It creates competition for Pepe, and I think Saka on the right is better than someone like Nelson or Willian on the right because he can cut inside with his left foot. So yeah, Saka, I'll give him an 8. What a run for the goal, honestly, very good. And he needs a little bit more time, and right now I don't know what Pepe will do because it's pretty tough for him at the moment. Maybe Arteta also has something with him because he didn't start that many games this season. He started Willian most of the games on the right. He knew that this didn't work. He moved Saka as a right winger, but when are we going to play Pepe, you know? So yeah, I think we should, so Saka right winger, maybe left back, and Maitland-Niles, I think we should just stick with him as a right back, because as a midfielder, he's played some games in there, as a right winger, he's played some games in there, but he didn't look as comfortable as on the right. I think on the right, you can also see where his abilities, you can truly see his best abilities as a right back, because let's look at his abilities, okay? Let's not look at positions right now. He's on that side, no. Let's look at the abilities and Maitland-Niles, what he's good at, okay? Pace, recovery, he doesn't get dribbled too much, he's solid defensively, very agile, mobile, good at 1-2s, maybe stuff like that. So you can see that these aren't the traits of a midfielder, exactly, because he's also played, let's be honest, in a 3-4-3, he's played as a left wing back, but most of the time he was cutting his head and being more like a midfielder. He also played on a midfield pivot, he also played as a right winger. You can see that he doesn't, as a midfielder, he doesn't possess the passing quality of someone like even Granit Xhaka, for example. As a right winger, he isn't that awesome at the dribbling and that end product especially. So you can see that his attributes just suit him for the right back role. I think he should just make this right back position his own. I think he's better than Bellerin. I don't know what Arteta is doing, but I think he's better than Bellerin. And look, maybe you want to play Bellerin, okay, but I think we can do something like, if he really wants to play Bellerin, we can do something like what Manchester City did with Clichy and Kolarov in their time. So if you remember, they had Clichy and Kolarov, and we all know Kolarov likes to bump forward and get this 99 power shots at the goal, and Clichy is more reserved, more Maitland-Niles, a little bit mobility, pace, And what the Manchester City did was play Kolarov at home, where you like to attack, stuff like that. And when you have to be more reserved, away games, you play Clichy. I think we can do something similar. Play Bellerin, or if Bellerin is injured, play someone like Cedric. Or if Bellerin doesn't perform, play someone like Cedric as a right back on home matches, and on away, when you have to be a little bit more reserved, a little bit more solid defensively, you can play instrumental mass. I think that should get the best out of our right backs, honestly. And I think also the combination, if Saka sticks as a right winger, Maitland-Niles as a right back, maybe a little bit of combination over there. So yeah, Bukayo Saka 8, Emile Smith Rowe 7.5. I wouldn't give him an 8, but at the second half he played much better, he was much more direct. I think we can also look at maybe not Brighton, but for example next week we have West Bromwich. I think Emile Smith Rowe can also play as a kind of like defensive midfielder. In the pivot he can play as a more advanced one, like a Santi Cazorla type of player. And I think we should try Pepe at central attacking midfielder, because Saka is good at right wing, and I think he can get the best out of Pepe playing him more centrally. Either play him as a right winger right now, as Saka is doing, cutting inside, but I would try him as a central attacking midfielder. Just see what he's all about in that position, okay? Because Smith Rowe is good, but he isn't the type of player who will dribble 5-6 amount of times and have 5 key passes per game or something like that. And I think Pepe in some instances can provide that, okay? So that's what I would choose for the next game, but Emile Smith Rowe 7.5. Martinelli 6 today, he wasn't that good. I always said that Martinelli is more of a striker, and you can see why. Yes, he works hard, no problem with that, but as a left winger I also think he was quite wide this game. You can see if you look at the positions, he was close to Tierney, which shows that he was kind of wide, kind of pushed back, I don't know why. And you can see, for example, look at someone like Grealish when he plays left winger, cuts inside, or someone like Alexis Sanchez, you know, in his time at Arsenal. He was cutting inside, dribbling, making these sorts of passes. Martinelli works hard, but he just wants to get on the end of crosses and stuff like that and score. You can see he's the type of player that Aubameyang is. And he doesn't, I think also playing Martinelli and Aubameyang in the same team doesn't work as well, in my opinion. So that's what I think we should do, just move Martinelli as a striker. If we sell Lacazette, he can be back up to Aubameyang, and he can provide something different, because Aubameyang is kind of like the goal scorer and stuff like that, but Martinelli is a pressing forward. He can provide the energy, stuff like that, and he can still score those goals. So yeah, I think we should play someone else as a left winger right now. Reece Nelson would be good, but we don't have him available. That's why I would go for Jack Grealish. He can fit in as a number 10, as a left winger. Willian may, I don't know when he will come back, but I still think he needs to play better. And Reece Nelson, I don't know what's happening to him, I don't know when he will come back. The only solution maybe is playing Aubameyang on the left and Lacazette on the middle. I don't know. So yeah, this has... Oh, and also substitutions. Lacazette 8 because of that goal. What a finish! What a finish! You can look at it and say, hey, it wasn't that hard, but it was. He curved it around Luis Dunk in the bottom corner. Perfect finish. Just to look at it from different angles, it was a perfect finish. And yeah, the others, Maitland-Niles and I don't know who else came in, Ceballos, straight 5 because they didn't have too much to do. So yeah, overall, my impression and Arteta's rating, he got it right. I think he could have like we scored a goal in like 70th minute or something like that. I would have put Nicolas Pepe early on and stuff like that, but he chose not to, and it paid off because we got the win, and because he didn't put players like Nicolas Pepe in there, he could put players more defensively, like more defensive type of players. Like he put Maitland-Niles as a right winger. Oh, and also he put Maitland-Niles instead of Saka because Saka got injured. I don't know how serious it will be. I hope it's nothing serious because we need Bukayo Saka in this type of matches. So I'm looking forward to the West Bromwich game. I think this is the game that kind of defines our season, because look, you can say, well, West Bromwich, what is it all about? West Bromwich are gonna be a team that Arsenal don't like to play as much. The team who are going to sit back and just counter-attack. We all know that. So by doing this, and Arsenal will have this type of matches, and I think that's where Arsenal don't play that well, because they lack that creativity and stuff like that. So I think if you beat West Bromwich, especially if you beat them comfortably, it will mean that this team has something, and this type of matches we can win, and we can get a better finish at the end of the season. If we don't beat, especially if West Brom beat us, then I'll look at it and be like, yeah, I don't know what to say. But if we beat West Bromwich, I think we'll make 3 wins in a row. Then we have like Newcastle and Palace at home. If we get like 5 wins in a row, that will be something. Especially if we get a couple of January signings, maybe. But yeah, overall, solid game. Wasn't the best, the most beautiful. I think we should stick to this routine with our wingers cutting inside, fullbacks overlapping. It worked out pretty well. I'll try Pepe as a central attacking midfielder next game, but I'll talk more about that in our preview against West Bromwich, which I think is not on the 1st, but on the 2nd of January, our first game in 2021. So we'll just have to see. This has been Football with Dan, and honestly, Arteta is starting to redeem himself, but I still have doubts over Arsenal and the board and all these situations. But a win is a win, I will take it, and I'll see you on the next one.